The man who 13 years ago had predicted that the bombing of Iran would be the sign of the imminent Third World War, the world expert on Marian prophecies who for 50 years has studied the secrets of Fatima, has launched a grave warning. The target? Pope Leo XIV. According to Father Kramer, the new pontiff, it is written in the terrifying secret lines of the Third Secret of Fatima, those 25 lines, that the Vatican has never dared to publish. Father Kramer does not mince words. His words are a bomb, which could explain why the world is precipitating towards the abyss. Today we will retrace the main points of a recently given interview, in which Father Kramer tells us about the deceptions of the present and the dark plans for a future, which might not be so far away. If these themes are dear to your heart, help us spread them. A like can do so much, as well as your subscription to the channel. Thank you from the heart. Priest for over 40 years, doctorate in philosophy and theology from the prestigious Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas in Rome, Father Kramer has dedicated more than half a century to the study of Catholic prophecies, becoming a worldwide reference point for anyone who wants to understand the signs of the times. Father Kramer tells, "I spoke 13 years ago and said, the great sign that indicates to us that the Third World War is very close will be the bombing of Iran, and I made connection with the Third Secret of Fatima on this point. The realization of this prophecy occurred in a dramatic way, even though Father Kramer himself declares, I am not a prophet, I am not clairvoyant. It's just that I have studied Catholic prophecy for more than 50 years. Saint Caesarius of Alls made prophecies from his time until the end of the world. And after the First and Second World War, the prophecy that follows is that Israel will commit a crime so grave that it will deserve to be destroyed. I read this prophecy in 1975, a booklet bought in Rome, with all these prophecies of Saint Caesarius. I tried to find this text on the internet, but that prophecy about Israel has been removed. It's not there. That prophecy was removed from the text. For this reason, one must not throw away books. According to Kramer, the apparitions of Fatima represent the most important event of the 20th century, citing Father Malachi Martin. But why is Fatima different from all other Marian apparitions? The answer lies in its unique nature. It is not a simple private revelation, but a public prophetic manifestation, which, although not belonging to the deposit of revelation, holds extraordinary importance to understand current times. If you too believe that Our Lady of Fatima gave us the key to what we are living, write in the comments. Your triumph is near. Amen. The Third Secret of Fatima remains at the center of his research. The Vatican publication of 2000 is indeed incomplete. What was published corresponds only to the vision received by the three little shepherds, while still remain secret the words that the Virgin revealed to Lucia. These 25 hidden lines contain, according to Father Kramer, terrifying prophecies about our times that no pope has ever had the courage to reveal. Through the revelations of Father Malachi Martin and other privileged sources, Father Kramer reconstructs the content of the hidden lines of the Third Secret. There will be a Third World War, there will be epidemics that will annihilate entire countries in 24 hours. There will be a worldwide famine, like there has never been. But the core of the secret goes beyond physical punishments, touching the deepest spiritual dimension. Father Malachi had spoken of a geopolitical operation which will be conducted by a world government, and which will use technology to create a financial system that oppresses everyone. The picture described is that of a dictatorship. One will have to either conform to the rules established by the most powerful and rich in the world, or be totally excluded, be treated like animals. A society emerges where there will be no freedom to tell the truth, but one will have to accept the lies that come from above. The control will be so pervasive that whoever does not want to obey the dictators will suffer the consequences of being excluded even from buying the most necessary things for life. All of this will constitute a reign of terror like there has never been in all the history of the world. But the core of the secret concerns the Church itself. The prophecy of a false church, counterfeit, that will replace the Catholic one. Father Pio had revealed to his friend Father Gabriele Amorth around 1960 that Satan has entered the heart of the Church at the highest levels. And Satan will make himself head of a counterfeit church, a false church, but it is a church that resembles the Catholic Church. This deception is necessary because if it does not resemble the Catholic Church, Catholics will not be deceived. It is about the mystery of iniquity, a mystery of great deception, to lead souls out of the Church founded by Christ, into a false church, counterfeit. The most controversial analysis of Father Kramer concerns Jorge Mario Bergoglio, whom he considers not only a heretic, but also a Freemason infiltrated in the Church. One of the most disturbing aspects that emerged from the interview concerns the origin of the liturgical reform, which according to Kramer, was not a natural evolution, but the result of a plan orchestrated for decades. The entire synodal reform program was formulated by Freemasonry. The precision of this planning is impressive. Masonic documents from 1929 already described exactly the reform of Paul VI in the smallest details. That reform of Paul VI is an intermediate reform because more reforms will come after. The final objective is the complete abolition of the Catholic Mass. This plan had already been revealed in the Third Secret, as confirmed by Father Hughes, assistant to Cardinal Stritch, who was present when John XXIII opened the letter in 1957. Hughes had revealed that a liturgical reform will be introduced in the Church, and that one must not have any participation in this reform. Because they want in a gradual way, in some stages, to culminate and finish this reform with the complete abolition of the sacrifice of the Mass, and there will no longer be a Mass. In place of the Catholic liturgy, neo-pagan rites will be introduced, Mayan, all these indigenous rites, to paganize the liturgy, and arrive at a pagan ceremony, which will not be a Catholic Mass. There will be no Eucharist. There will be no body and blood of Christ. The election of Pope Leo XIV on May 8, 2025, did not bring the hope for restoration. Kramer, who initially had classified him as a doubtful pope, bitterly notes, "What happened is the opposite. He follows the reform, heretical, Gnostic, neo-pagan of Bergoglio. The Synodal Church represents a fundamental heresy because it denies the absolute papal primacy. In the Pastor Aeternus of the First Vatican Council, it is defined that the primacy is authority and an absolute jurisdiction, a total, supreme fullness. Synodality instead puts conditions on this power, contradicting a dogma of faith. Kramer defends the theological legitimacy of sedevacantism, based on the teaching of Saint Alphonsus Liguori and Saint Robert Bellarmine. A public heretic cannot be a valid pope. The Apostolic See can remain vacant for years, as historical precedents demonstrate. The prophecies confirm this possibility. Anna Maria Taigi prophesied 25 months or more, without pope. While Saint Ignatius of Loyola spoke of about 3 years, in which there will be some who want to be recognized as popes, but one cannot know with certainty if they are. The prophecies about future punishments see Russia protagonist of apocalyptic events that are taking shape in the current geopolitical scenario. According to the revelations of Blessed Elena Aiello, there will be an invasion of Russia throughout Europe. This will be followed by a nuclear exchange between Russia and the United States. But the spiritual dimension of the conflict goes beyond geopolitics. It will be worse than atheism, it will truly be Satan in place of God. Satan wants to be worshipped as God, and the world religion will do exactly this. The devil is the god of Freemasonry. The New World religion will be a diabolical religion, satanic, an inversion of the true religion, which puts the devil in place of God, and they will say that Jesus Christ was a false prophet. The centenary 1931 to 2031 assumes particular prophetic significance. In 1931, Jesus said to Sister Lucia that the ministers of the Church would have followed the example of the King of France, delaying the fulfillment of my request. And therefore, they would have followed him also in misfortune. Just as Louis XIV did not insert the Sacred Heart in the royal coats of arms, and 100 years later was guillotined, in 2031 exactly 100 years will have passed from Jesus' warning. And the prophecy of the bishop dressed in white, who will be killed, could be fulfilled, or the Church could lose its head, therefore its chief, and therefore, the papacy. Despite the dramatic nature of the prophecies, Father Kramer maintains hope in the final triumph. He tells an episode from 1962, when some visitors asked Father Pio if they would see the triumph of the Immaculate Heart. The answer was, "You will not see. I will not see." Then indicating children of about 10 years old. They will see the triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. These children, born around 1952, are today septuagenarians. In this decisive moment for the Church, prayer for the Pope is more necessary than ever. Share in the comments your prayer intentions for Pope Leo XIV, so that he may be an instrument of the triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and not of the deception announced in the Third Secret. Malachi Martin publicly denounced the manipulation of the Third Secret of Fatima, and also of Sister Lucia. If you want to know more, click on the video that appeared on your screen. May God always illuminate your path. See you in the next video.